We could. I've got some games from the last tournament yesterday. I can send you quick if you want to, because I don't know
Okay.
if what I want to talk about will take up an hour.
Okay. I mean, you can just send them over if you feel like we've covered what you want and we've got some spare time left over.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what are the problems you're into at the moment? Then do you think?
um, I think it's mainly performance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still focusing way too much on results and way too much on who I'm playing and who I'm beating.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get out of that.
Yep.
Um, I don't feel like I feel like my mentality mid game and stuff is way better, but my
Mm-hmm.
mentality outside of the game seems way worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, mid game I won't give up, I won't quit, I won't really till, I'll just keep focusing on the game. But then afterwards I'm just like, oh man, I cannot I can't
Yeah.
be fucked to keep grinding and getting or not seeing results.
Yeah. It is
And
hard.
that's what I kind of mean by I don't want to just be results orientated.
Hmm. Um. Yeah, because I was gonna say there's been a few times in the chat where you posted about I nearly beat X person or nearly got top eight or whatever, and I
Yeah.
prefer it if you're like, I'm seeing my progress in these situations or whatever, because I feel like there's so many variables when it comes to beating people and results and stuff like that. Whereas if you narrow it down enough, it becomes very within your control. And that's what you want, right? You want to be putting all your time into the stuff you can control instead of the stuff you can't.
Yeah.
Um, but
But I don't know why I keep defaulting back to it. Or I'm not sure how to get out of it. Maybe I need to have an extra section in my notes or something.
mhm.
Um like describing what I done well, no, I've already got the section describing what I done well. But I don't ever really feel like I've done much well anymore.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a side effect of becoming more aware of your own gameplay. I'm sure you've seen the Dunning Kruger curve, right?
Sorry, what was that last bit?
Have you seen the Dunning Kruger graph thing? Yeah, so you're at the trough at the moment, whereas you were at the big peak at the start before. Um, and it does take a very long time to get out of the trough, but it's what gets you better in the end. Um,
Yeah, it's just I think like you said though, it's the approach that's more concerning to me. That I'm not even it's not like I'm consciously doing it. It's I guess I am as well, but I'm just focused on who I'm playing and who I'm beating, and not really focused on the situations. If
mhm.
I, if I'm playing friendlies and stuff, I'm just focused on the situations a lot more. But yeah, just struggling to reconcile how much time I'm putting in compared to how long I'm going to be in the trough.
Yeah. Um, it is harder when it is in tournament as well compared to friendlies to focus on that stuff because the tournament is the test, right? It's where you go to prove how far you've come or whatever.
Yeah,
So it feels like you thinking about those things the results and who you're beating matters more because that's directly linked to your goals. If I do well at this tournament, then I will reach this goal, right? Whereas in friendlies, it's if you do something really well in friendlies or you beat someone in friendlies, that doesn't really directly link to your goal.
yeah,
Um, so I think it might be worth also because you said your mentality within the games is fine, which I think is a good improvement as well. To be honest, I wouldn't understate that progress that you've made as well. Um, but yeah, I'd probably have a rethink about your attitude towards entering tournaments in general, because as well as a plan for what you do in the games, you need a plan for uh, how are you approaching each tournament? What are you looking for out of it? I'm sure. I think I said this last time, but there was some tournaments I went to last year where I wasn't even trying to win the tournament. I was just trying to like get as good at certain spots as possible. But then there are some ones where I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna go all out and try and win instead of look to see long term growth instead. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think as well because like I mean we established at the start that like your big goal was like reaching PR level, and I think the whole COVID and lockdown and net play and the whole like environment of the game sort of changing has really made it hard to see yourself progressing towards that goal, if that makes sense, because there's not a PR, right, and there won't be one until 2021 whenever tournaments come back or whatever. So it might be worth reassessing your goals as well. I'm actually going through the same thing at the moment because like my goal has always been I want to win all these big tournaments and stuff, but they're just not happening. So it's like it's very hard to pluck up the motivation to do that when it's like years away for something you're looking for, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, it might be worth reassessing like what you want out of the game for now. And if that does mean I'm just gonna not play until tournaments come back and then I'll have my motivation back, then that might be the right choice for you, or maybe you find something else you want to do with the game. But it could also make you see results as less of like the thing you're looking for, because they're just like they don't contribute to anything at the moment, if that makes sense, because like it's net play results, right? So
yeah, I get what you mean. I think what I'm concerned about is like not playing or stopping until tournaments come back and then coming back and just regretting not using the time to get better is like the main thing. And like I feel like sometimes like if you make progress in like situational things, if you step away from the game for too long, you kind of lose that. Like if it's not like completely in your game and you're just sort of like only getting it into your game when you're playing well, stepping away from the game, for me, it always feels like, okay, well, now I've got to relearn this thing again, or I've got to reintroduce it into my game.
Yeah. I mean, like the book says, that just means that you're not learning it to, like, unconscious competence level, right?
Yeah, so that's why I'm concerned about stopping playing, because the things that I feel like I have gotten better at since we've started the lessons aren't in, like, my mastery level.
Yeah.
Which also shows up in tournament, obviously. Like, when I watch my tournament games back, I'm like, okay, well, clearly not. These aren't in my unconscious competence shit.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think they should be, like, the goals of your tournament, like, matches, rather than, like, who you're being. Because, like, the thing is, it's like, if you work on all the situations we talk about and all those processes, and the results just, like, come with that. And it does feel like, what's the word?
Like counterintuitive.
Yeah, it feels counterintuitive, and it does feel sometimes like you don't care about beating people, if that makes sense. And I think I've definitely become less. I've become like sort of desensitized to like, oh, I really, really want to beat this specific person or whatever, because I more care about like, well, what's actually happening in the game, and am I winning all of these scenarios and stuff. And the results just like come along with that naturally, because you win more situations, you win more games generally. But yeah, it does feel like you're just going into tournaments caring about results too much. I don't know what else to say really.
Yeah. It's like I'm immediately upset about the results and who I've lost to, and then afterwards I'm annoyed. Like it's like the tilting about tilt thing. Like I'm annoyed that I care about results, and then I look back and I'm like, oh, I could have been just focused on these situations and not the results, and I probably would be in a better place now than I am. So
Yeah,
I don't have. Like, I'm in a bit of like a cycle of like I practice these situations, I do bad in tournament, and then I'm like annoyed that I'm focused on the results in the tournament, or like immediately after the tournament, I guess.
Yeah, I think you want to be more focused on the stuff you control now and like where you're going in the long term. I don't think focusing on like that sort of middle like playing and beating people thing is what you should be paying attention to much. Like if your two focuses were these specific situations and the overarching goal of PR, then I think that should give you enough like motivation and whatever to stick at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing so much that I think I've like almost got carpal tunnel. Like my two left fingers like keep going numb. So
Okay.
I've been playing like
A lot.
a decent amount. Yeah, like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah, you're also probably in that. Did I send you the thing about latent potential?
Yeah, you
Atomic
did,
habits. Yeah, so you're probably at that like 29 degrees instead of 30 degrees point as well. If you remember the gist of like what I
Yeah.
was saying.
I remember the analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, which also contributes to like you're at that point, and you're also doing bad in the tournament. So it's just like, it's a very big hurdle to overcome. But then once you do overcome it, it all clicks sort of thing. I feel like a lot of the time people have the biggest breakthroughs once they've just had like a really hard, tournament or experience or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know whether to like. Also, I don't know whether thought like. I don't know whether other people have these thoughts and then don't get them out, and then like they sort of process them, deal with them, and then it's fine. Or I don't know whether it's better to get these thoughts out there, deal with them, and like. What I'm trying to say is, I don't know if people just don't have these thoughts whatsoever.
I think people have different coping mechanisms for it. A lot of people like blame external things, the other character, the other person. John about whatever happened in the day. There's that, and then there's also the people you see that get quite like down on themselves. Quite all the emo tweets on Twitter and stuff like that. Like I'd say they're the two like main ways of it, and then there's just the people that have like all the mentality stuff like down. Like have you ever spoken to Luke?
From Brighton.
No, the Bristol player plays Fox. He's quite young.
Oh, sorry, I thought he was Brian. Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, he's like the most positive person you'll ever meet, and he's just like naturally got good mentality. Like I don't think I've ever seen him frustrated at anything. But yeah, I think most people have those thoughts. It's just like they cover it up by blaming something else, or I think what we're doing of sort of like taking responsibility and like confronting it is the most painful way to deal with it, but it also will eventually get you to that like end goal of not feeling like that ever, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I get what you mean.
But yeah, it can feel quite what's the word, like it feels like it's only happening to you and then nobody else has to deal with it, so it feels like an extra burden or whatever. I've definitely felt that as well. But yeah, I think a lot of people go through it. They, like I say, they just deal with it in different ways, and like the people that just John about it, right? Like that's probably going to work out for them in the short term, but in the long term, they're not going to deal with the underlying reasons, and then they're going to stay at the same level.
Yeah, sometimes there's like I think some people that are like blissfully unaware of it or blissfully ignorant to it, like get immediate more results than it, but I don't think long term it works either.
I agree.
But maybe you want to go over a set actually. I lost to Ryzen and Raiden in the tournament. I wouldn't mind going over either Falco or Fox. I think I lost worse to Ryzen.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can go over those.
Unless there was more you want to talk about in terms of mentality. I
think a lot of it is stuff you have to go away and work on, but I think I want to make it just like clear that you're working in the right direction. So I think I want you to just go away and each time you enter a net play tournament, write up a like you do with your pre-game notes for when you do friendlies or whatever, write up a thing for what am I looking for out of this tournament. What are my long-term and short-term goals, and some injecting logic for between your games for when you start to, have negative thoughts or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, because that process definitely helped me with like approaching friendlies and approaching practice.
Yeah, and I mean, from what you said, it sounded like it helped a lot, like in the game, right? So if you just replicate that for outside of the game, I think you should see similar results, hopefully.
Okay, I'll definitely start doing that, but I think, like you said, it's something I need to go away and um,
Think
work
about.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I also will say there is a big risk of burnout as well, and what you're describing can be one of the symptoms of burnout. Especially because you said you've been playing like 4 or 5 hours a day and working on all this stuff. So
yeah,
what I what I try to do is take like one day off a week, where I just don't. I try to not think or play the game. Or if I feel like really bad after a tournament, then I might take a couple of days off. But it's just important to try and recognize the difference between like whether you're burnt out or whether you're just being lazy. But it sounds to me like you're more on the burnt out side than the lazy side.
yeah. And I think I can definitely do both. I think I have the capability of doing both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I lose or I'm like not doing well, I can become lazy and unmotivated. But
Yeah.
I think over this period since we've been doing lessons, it's been the opposite. Every time I've done any sort of coaching, I seem to go the other way.
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably because you're going from not knowing what to work on, feeling a bit lost, to like you've got all of this energy suddenly like focused in one direction. So of course you're gonna not be used to it, not be used to like the amount of thoughts and stuff going through your head, and then it might be a bit overwhelming at times. So sometimes like stay off the gas a bit and take a day off or something. I definitely find it helps, and I'm pretty susceptible to like going too hard sometimes as well.
Yeah, I have a day off tomorrow. We're going to friends tomorrow, so
Okay, nice.
yeah, I think that will help.
Yeah.
Let me try and find.
Okay. I think probably the Ryzen one.
Ryzen, not Raiden, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I take him to FD?
I'm trying to think also about with stuff like this, it's easier to see progress if you like play the same people multiple times, and I feel like Ryzen's someone that you might end up running into a lot if you continue to enter like net play stuff. Whereas Raiden, like, I know he's like an EU person instead, right? So he might not be in as many.
I don't know who he is.
Oh yeah, I think he's from. I want to say Portugal or Spain, but I'm not 100% sure. But
yeah, I've never seen him or played him before.
yeah, that's another thing though. Is like it shouldn't matter if you know them or not. It should matter like what you think of their decisions in game.
Yeah,
Because I get that with like Slippy sometimes, where I'm like, I've got no idea what this tag is, but like it doesn't matter because all I care about is what's on the screen in front of me happening.
yeah,
And it's hard to switch to that like mentality of from like I either know you and you're good or I don't know you and you're bad, but that's like very oversimplified, and it's just you being lazy really. You're just trying to like put people into boxes without like taking the time to figure out
Yeah.
their strengths and weaknesses.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I definitely think that's an easy way of just categorizing. Like, oh, what do I have to do against this person? Do I have to like go like full try hard, or can I sort of like try out some new combo stuff?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just another trap to fall into, and again, it goes into like the feeling bad or good about results because of just this like arbitrary, have I heard of this person or not? It's kind of a silly way to view things when you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was in the Discord. Sent it.
Yeah, I post them in lesson discussion.
All right. Um,
I've played Ryzen before,
hmm.
but I think he beat me worse this time than he has before.
Yeah.
I think this is the worst I've lost to him.
He from what I've seen, he's been entering and playing a lot, so it doesn't surprise me too much that he's like improving.
Yeah.
Um, so I just need to sort out my sound settings and stuff.
Yeah, no worries.
Uh,
I think I had to play 2 round 1s in this tournament because the bracket didn't update, so I played somebody one, and then a person messaged me and was like, "Yo, we playing."
Classic net play tournaments.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He kept me in the corner quite a lot. Like when he goes to the side plat, I wasn't sure how to
Yeah, it's
get
a
away.
pretty tricky situation, and like you have to make more of a read than just he's on the side plat or whatever. You have to like know what he's gonna try and do from the side platform.
Bad there.
Yeah, I'd say so far that like first stock, you see how he's like taken a very long time to kill you, like compared to the amount of openings he's hit, right?
Yeah.
Like if we just count how many times he beats you in neutral or like in a situation, one there, so that's 2.
Is that 3?
3. No, he doesn't kill you here. 4. Which is that? But you've only got like 2 openings and nearly killed him. So I think that's something you sort of have to abuse versus people like this. If they don't have very good punish game, then like you need your defense to be on point just to make them work as hard as possible for it, and like you have to abuse the fact that they're like dropping their punishes. Like this one, for example, where he could have up smashed you. You need to like take advantage of that and get some mileage out of the fact that you've like lived longer than you should. But that was just like a general thing I was noticing when I was watching him play.
Yeah.
And I'd also like take from that like I shouldn't feel that scared. Like, God damn it.
Here we go again.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say the thing I would take from that as well is that like I shouldn't feel too scared when I get hit by him, right? Because he's not gonna kill me off of a lot of these hits. So that can be like an important like mentality thing. Whereas if I'm playing against like Prof or something, then like I'm gonna be a lot more careful in neutral, and like there's a lot more pressure on me to win these hits and like punish hard and stuff. Whereas versus Ryzen, I'd be like, I can drop a few things and it won't matter too much.
So would that mean that you'd be like going for more high risk punishes, or you just be going for your bread and butter standard stuff?
A bit of both, really. I'd just like feel a lot more chill about taking risks, yeah, because I know that he might run up smash me into nothing.
Yeah.
I think here
You're not streaming.
I forgot it. It like removes it when I end up leaving. I was gonna say this edge guard, I think was pretty important to hit. The rest of your stuff has been fine. Like the 2 openings you've got, I think you've converted fine off of, which is good because you've been practicing punish game. That was just a misread, which is fine. And then I think this one you convert pretty well. EDI's away.
So what do you think I should do on the side B? Because I read that one to the ledge, and then do you think the nair's fine, or should I bear that?
I think both are fine. They don't really make much difference which one you go for.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Is this edge guard? You mean the
Yeah, I mean this because like he's below the stage, right? So you should have a very good chance of killing him. The two schools of thought here, I'd say, are either Dare in Place, which you can SDI on stage and tech, but that's really hard. Or you could like turn around and then back air the in angle, and then if he goes up here, then you just run off double jump down air him, and he's just dead. So it's your choice which one you want to go for. If it was somebody that's really technical, like if I was playing against Rix, for example, I would go for the back air. But against Rhizon, I would go for just a down air in place, because I don't think he'd SDI in tech or whatever.
No.
Anytime I play like a box player or anything like that, I always just go for the option that like might be less reward but has no chance of like them, getting some back on stage randomly. But yeah, so here the edge guard I would go for is downer, like show up downer in place, and then if he goes up, run off double jump downer. There's a pretty good PP clip of it somewhere, but can you like visualize what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think sometimes I do the downer in place, and if they go up, I F smash. But sometimes they go past you, don't they?
Yeah, the F smash can be fine because like he's at 78 here, but if he's at like 20, this is quite a common scenario that happens, and then you forward smash, and then it's a hard edge guard to get. Whereas if you down air, they're just dead. And you always want to make your edge guards like as clean as possible, especially against Fox, where it can go a bit wrong. He actually did hit a sort of nice tech there, so maybe I would back air him. But yeah, that's the idea there. Is you like show up aerial to cover the in angle, and then run off double jump down air to cover the high, like straight up angle. Yeah, I like that you were going for the rolls. The other thing you can do as well is mix up which direction you roll in. So if you roll back here, for example, and he tries to cover the roll in,
obviously,
then you'll get out, right?
Laser.
You can get a laser, or you can jump to the platform or something. I think with this one, I probably would have tried to shorten. Just as like a meta thing, people are more... But I didn't do this the other day, actually, when I was doing the lesson with Fermentari. But yeah, I was just saying, I think you should go for the shorten here instead of the side B edge cancel, just because in general, people are more looking for the edge cancel than the shorten.
Yeah, what I normally do is I line up for the... I think I actually missed the shorten there. I normally line up for the edge cancel and actually shorten it.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I definitely go for that like more of the time than the edge cancel.
Yeah. The stream stopped again, sorry.
Sorry. I keep forgetting. Did you notice how like full hop heavy he's playing while you were playing him as well? Or...
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And it does look like you're playing around it a bit better. But you got to also keep in mind like that style as well. It's the same with like you see how he's going to the platforms as well and then trying to come down as well. It's all like the same sort of. I just like compartmentalize it as like vertical.
The same.
Yeah, it's all just like vertical openings they're going for. So again, I'm just trying to outspace Fox, laser, or hit him landing, depending on how I'm spaced.
I find it weird because you would think that you'd want to fight him vertically, but you can't really, can you?
No,
I don't really know what I can do.
Not unless you like call out where he's going to go to, but then that also has its own risks. But yeah, I would just be on the ground shooting lasers, dash dancing outside of his full hop aerial range or whatever, because he's not like. It's a bit different if he's also threatening like running shine, run up smash, run up grab, like all those things. But he's not. He's just sort of like playing vertically, like I was saying. And the easy way to tell as well is because you're at 0. That's just like his plan for 0 is I'm gonna full hop aerial because that's like a pretty safe hit that he can't do much about. Whereas once you get to like 100, that's probably when he's gonna start doing more like horizontal stuff, like the nairs that smashes. But that's a very common like strategy. Is foxes will either look for full hop like drill or like back air or something, or they'll go for running shine because they're like the two biggest open ups they can get at 0. It's similar to like Puff as well. Like Puff looks for Nair a lot when you're at 0. Because again, it's one of the only things she has that like hits you safely and can lead into something. Sheiks will look for either needles or forward airs into like a mix up. So you want to be thinking about that stuff because it makes it a lot easier to play neutral when you know like what they're looking for when you're at 0.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot simpler than if you're at like 80, like they have their whole toolkit open up, whereas at 0 they have a lot of their toolkit's limited. But yeah, that's just a very common like Fox thing that a lot of people do.
He edge guarded me really hard as well. I think like almost every time I was off stage, I died.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you played this a bit better than I've seen before as well, where you didn't just like immediately pick something and then you dashed back. Yeah, this is one where I would try to just again be like outspacing Fox, because you like go in with the down air here, and then he gets to reversal you. I would like Fox has a really hard time dealing with you at like this spacing. Like if you do back airs or like drift away aerials. But again, he's at 139, so I'd be looking for back air, right? Because it's gonna kill if it hits, and it just threatens a bigger area. This is a pretty tricky one to get.
I was really shocked that neither the bear or
the dash attack hit. Yeah, I was gonna say like once he went up from the down air, I would have looked for a tech chase instead of
the bear.
Yeah, I could just tell from like how the down air sent him that you weren't gonna be able to get there in time.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he gets to here, I'd be like, I need to tech chase instead. But it is hard, and like you would have covered miss tech with that as well, so it is all right. But a really easy execution test you can do is when you do this laser is just a shield, and then you can shield drop shine if he tries to nair at you. And then you just like kill him. Yeah, a lot of Foxes do this when they see you coming off the top platform. They do this like full hop nair up to you. And then if you drop through, they're still like on the platform above you, so it's still pretty good for them. But yeah, just shielding is a really easy way to beat this. Yeah, I jumped into the full hop.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, I feel like you haven't been like locking him down with lasers that much either. It feels like you've been trying to move more, and then because he's moving as well, he's just sort of outmaneuvering you. Nice.
I have found, like, now that I'm watching it back, I don't actually think I'm playing awfully.
No. I think you're just picking the the wrong options versus what he's doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think some of this stuff we have talked about before, like in this spot, for example. I think we've talked about, like, dashing away instead of up tilting here.
Yeah, yeah. I still have a few situations where I'll go for an up tilt.
Yeah.
Or a bear or something, and I should just dash.
Yeah, but then there's also the opposite where like sometimes you need to do the up tilt, but in general, if you've just whiffed, then up tilting usually isn't the thing to do unless you have a really hard read that like they're gonna move into you.
Yeah.
Or like if the percents are good, like say you're at 0 and he's at 80, then I think up tilting can be good most of the time. But other than that, usually trades bad.
Trades, yeah.
But yeah, if we go back over this and just sort of like, I think we just need to reinforce like what you need to do versus this style of Fox, because it still seems like you have a general idea of when to west space, but then once the situations come up, I feel like you're not picking the right like
The
options.
option. Yeah, I feel the same. Like I don't know why. Like I kind of know that he's doing it, and I'm able to. Oh, so you stopped it.
Uh,
Um, I'm able to recognize that that's what he's going for and stuff, but it feels hard to properly call it out.
yeah.
And maybe
Um,
that's just, like I say, I'm going for the wrong options to call it out with.
yeah, I think that is the problem here. So if I just pause on a few like key ones. He tech traps you like 10 times there as well.
I know. I think my punish has gotten a little better.
I agree, yeah. Yeah, this looks a lot better, especially because this is a tournament, remember, as well. So, like, I'd usually expect it to be a bit worse and a bit more shaky, but it's definitely looking solid. Um,
Like I still drop stuff, but I don't think I lose. Like I'm normally getting like 40-ish
yeah,
per
that's good.
opening.
Um, None of the full up situations really happened this stock so far.
No, no,
Um,
they basically happen from now. I think
yeah.
'cause I lose like what 3 stocks now.
Yeah, so this is the first one. Once you hit his shield. Basically, I think any time you hit his shield when you're spaced, I don't think dashing back can like go badly for you really. I guess if he did like wave dash forward up smash here, or wave dash forward shine, but like that would lose to anything else you do, right? So that's pretty good for you. But I feel like if you dash back, if he does this full hop, you back air him. If he stays in shield, you can like move outside his range and pressure him. If he moves back, then you still have sensor and you can probably get a laser out. If he goes to the platform, you can dash dance and then jump shine him. Like I think the dash back is like a really solid option here, and that's usually my go-to in this sort of situation. Because I imagine if you were spaced over here now, he falls down and you just back air him, and then he's probably off stage. I think the laser is good there.
Do you think the air throw's fine?
Yeah. Like you should have probably shined off of this.
Yeah, I think it would have hurt.
So
Yeah.
you want to do the laser so that it places you on their tech roll. Does that make sense? And then you can shine the tech roll in.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to be landing, but like a little bit back,
Behind.
probably.
Yeah, the other thing I do off forward throw is just wave dash forward to where they're going to tech roll into as well. And then if they tech in place, then they end up just in the corner and I'm here. And that's also really good. So I'd consider doing that as well. Classic drop through. I was gonna say this is like the classic drop through and then get dash dance grabbed versus every character.
Which one? Sorry. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just laser there instead of
Yeah,
down there.
laser's like the high risk high reward option because he could run up smash you, but yeah, the other thing you can do is just not play the situation, just jump to the side platform, short hop off, and fast fall through. If you want to hard call out the dash dance, you can also just short hop, fast fall through the platform towards him, and then aerial. That can be really good. I would just like cut out drop through aerial from your game. And only do like the other options, and then add it back in where you feel it's necessary. Just because, like, especially at your level, a lot of the openings come from like dash dance grabbing bad downers. Like if you're forcing him to make a read on an up smash here to hit your laser, then I think that's pretty good for you, and like that's good on him to recognize that. But
The down air is like pretty easy to hit comfort, like with punish on reaction. I think.
yeah, it's just like everybody knows it's coming, and everybody knows how to punish it, and it probably. I mean, it probably gets you a kill here, but like it also gives Fox a huge opening if it doesn't work. So it's just like not good odds. I feel like, just given that whole context. Whereas if you did like short hop through and then back air him, like, he's probably not ready for that, and he'll still get the same result of a kill probably. Or you could just not play the situation as well. That's a very powerful option, honestly, because what happens a lot of the time, I find, is if you like back off and just show up over here, they just do some YOLO like full hop nair over to you, and then you just get to hit them for free because people like don't know how to deal with it.
Okay, I'll try just cutting it out completely then, because I think if I go to top platform, I generally do fall through, with an aerial, not really down there.
And there'll be times where you'll be like, oh, I should have done the down air here, and that's like when you should be doing it, rather than it being like your go-to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're like, your go-to options always want to be stuff that's like beating the meta option, and the meta option is just whatever's relevant at your skill level. So versus Fox, dash dance grabbing and full hop aerialing are like the two meta things, I'd say. So if you're weighing your options against those, then I think you should find a lot of success. Whereas I feel like you're weighing them against like him trying to jump and attack you, or like him running at you horizontally.
I think my situations on Wake Up are a little better as well.
Yep.
I think you mentioned that. Like,
I'm
not just attacking forward every time.
Yeah. In these spots as well, again, I'd just be looking for pairs because he's at like 127. And again, Fox just really struggles at this spacing. So if you can just bear him off, it's like really good for you.
Yeah. Just replace the down air with like a spaced bear.
Yeah, and the dash back lasers sometimes as well. The laser's good when they're at like low percent because you can get like laser grab or a mix up off of it, but I don't think it's as good around these percents. Yeah, this is another classic one.
I get shield pokes so much. I think I get my shield up, but it just hits me in the head, right?
Yeah. This is another one that's like a very common meta thing. Is Falcos, for whatever reason, when they drop through laser, they pretty much always move forward with something. So then Foxes just full hop in the center and then hit you. So doing like two lasers here can be really good, or laser and then full hop aerial to top platform, or laser and then half laser forward. They're all decent things here. But again, like if you just think about it from Fox perspective here, like he's at 150, you're at 84. He doesn't really want to take a big risk, and he knows that you're going to move forward. So, the answer from his end is pretty obviously like full hop back air, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a full hop aerial or shield, right?
Yeah, so if you're just thinking about it through that lens, then I think it should be pretty clear that like you shouldn't be doing this aerial into him, instead be trying to laser or reposition. And again, you want to make it hard for him, because if you deny that, like if he's good, then he'll start like running up to you and hitting you. But you're not at that level yet where you have to think about all these different adaptations they can make at your level. It's just about like beating the one or two things people know how to do, and I think that's the quickest way to like start beating people. Yeah, I feel like you might have missed this like a couple months ago or weeks ago or whatever.
I think so. Yeah. Especially in tournament, I think.
Yeah. Yes, this is another one. So you get the laser on the full hub, which is good. And then, you're just like... Did we talk about like the spacings you approach from as well?
Yeah, the mid-range thing. Like, this is like a classic mid-range approach.
Yeah, so like you can't hit him before he can move out of the way at this range. So like you have to like either read his jump or read him wave dashing back, or just shoot another laser is also really good here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Some of them feel a little harder to call out. Like it feels risky to overshoot laser, or like
it is.
Yeah, I guess it just is risky.
Yeah, that's
like I'm in the corner. Like I don't have that many options, I guess.
Yeah, that's why the second laser in place is so good here. Because unless he moves forward and tries to hit you, he's either full hopping, which gives you more time to like get out of the corner or pressure his landing, or he wave dashes back and gives up space, and then that gives you space to take.
So in this situation, what would you be doing? Because the second I hit him with the first laser, and the second laser hits his shield, what would you be looking to do? Like walk up shine grab or?
No, like I said, I think my default would be another
Laser,
laser here.
Mm,
Because,
yeah.
like I said, it forces him to, like, wave dash forward out of this laser and then, like, up smash me or jump shine me, which is already, like, pretty off meta to do here. So, they're probably not going to do it. And even if they do it, then that lets me just start doing, I could dash dance here, wait for the up smash and then hit him, or I can jump over him and then come back down with an aerial, or and they're all like high reward things as well, because I get like late down airs or shines off of that. And then if he doesn't go for that, then yeah, he's just either jumping or wave dashing or staying in shield, which is just like giving me a better position than this. And that's what you want in the corner, right? Is you want to be out of the corner. So yeah, in my book, like I either get a better position or I get a chance to punish him for making a big commitment. Which feels pretty good. But yeah, just lasering again in the mid range is just so effective, and it's part of like why Falco's so strong. Because you're just like not fast enough to be able to play all the mix-ups you want to from wherever that was. Like you're not Fox.
Yeah.
It's like it's annoying to get in your brain that you're just like not as fast as other characters. Because like Fox could probably dash jump Nair here and catch a lot of options, but Falco just is too slow. So you need to set up like lasers at this spacing or dash dancing and holding your position. It's when you're like slightly closer that's when you can start doing all of your like overshoot down air to catch him wave dashing back, or nair to catch him jumping or stuff like that.
I think I tried CCing the drill and then realized halfway through that he's drilling.
Yeah, you can hold down and tech it if you want as well.
Tech the shine.
You can do an option select where like you hold shield at the end of the drill, and then you either put your shield up and shield the shine, or you end up teching the shine, depending on whether drill shine true links or not.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can also try and SDI it as well, but that's a bit harder, I think. That's just a hard punish to get, I think.
Yeah, it's just a strange CI.
Yeah. Nice, yeah.
I can't believe he got that tech. That's twice
Yeah.
he's like techs downer.
I don't think the downer was that good, because even if he didn't tech it on here, I think he would have teched it down here.
Yeah,
so
I think I just go for weak bear or strong even.
Yeah, I think a strong aerial here, or you could let him fall to the platform and then maybe tech chase. But
yeah,
I think the full up aerial removes any ambiguousness of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just end up jumping into. Okay.
I can't see. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I think again with this one, doing more full hop out of the corner would probably help you as well. But yeah, we can talk about the side platform briefly. So like when he's in this position, he can cover a lot of different spaces, but he has to pick different options to cover them. So for example, if he wants to hit you all the way in the corner here, he has to do like a dash shield drop aerial. If you can like visualize that. Yeah. But most people in this situation do drop through back air, right? So he's only hitting like this spot where my cursor is. So you actually standing, if you just stood still here, like you'd be able to just whiff punish him. But obviously, again, that leaves you vulnerable to him doing like dash shield drop aerial. Or he can do like a run off back air, which matches up better versus you trying to like aerial your way out of the corner. Because sometimes that can hit Fox before his bear hits you. There's like drop through bear here.
Yeah.
So it's just like a bit of a mix up really between like how he's attacking from the platform. So what you want to think about is doing full hop. You can stand there and wait for him to do the back air. You can try and run through. You can try and dash, put your shield up, and then play a on shield mix up. You can go up there and hit him.
What would you do out of the full hop? would you be looking to full hop aerial to the top plat, or do you mean just like full hop and then try and get away?
You can do both. It depends. Like, if you think he's gonna just stay up there, then full hop down is really good. Like, just at him. Sometimes they'll stay up there to catch you, like rolling in or something, or doing the YOLO aerial out of the corner. But if you do the full hop in place, like you can come back down with an aerial laser, you can side B edge cancel, you can double jump, you can fall down with the downer onto the platform. You know, you've got lots of like little vertical mix-ups you can do. And I mean, it's not great, but like this position on the ground isn't great either, so I don't think it's that bad to go for. And with this one as well, he would have just like, he would have been here, you'd have been up here, and then you're probably out. Like you can just double jump to the top platform, and you're probably fine. Yeah, that one. Just to talk about edge guards, you want to either go really low here or really high.
Yeah.
Because he only covered one angle here, I'm pretty sure, with how he did the back air.
Yeah. Ledge,
yeah, like you could have just gone like up, for example, like Mangle. What was the other game? What stage was that on?
FD.
Okay, yeah, we can watch that as well.
I don't really remember how the FD game went. I think it went.
I'm gonna imagine that he full hop drills you and then you get grabbed.
Yeah, I think that happened. And then I just get 0 left.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Wait, why is there?
Have I linked the wrong game or?
Yeah, the other one you linked was versus Keanu Reeves.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
We can watch that one as well if you want to. It's on Battlefield as well.
We can do. I think that was quite a close set. That was like 2-1.
Okay, yeah, I'm down to watch this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, definitely looking cleaner with your punishes. Like, you got 40 off of that and you just, like, get strong on the tech chase, so that's fine. Nice. Yeah. Can you tell already, like, how differently this guy's playing the matchup?
Yeah, he's much more grounded.
Yeah, he's like I don't think Ryzen would ever have done that now, right?
No, like twice in a row he tried calling out my movement with an air.
Yeah, and he just wave dashed around, which is really good. I mean, he's been using the platforms a bit, but like he hasn't been like full hop aerial drilling, whatever. Yeah, again, I think he's still throwing up like these up tilts and stuff. Like here, you just want to get out of the way rather than try and, because you see how he like trades badly for you.
Yeah.
Look at this edge guard. I would usually try and shoot low here. Because the first laser already covered him jumping high. Because he jumped too slow, then you do shoot the low laser to cover the side beam.
Yeah.
Did you miss your short one again? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is the game before Ryzen, and I was still. I think I started hitting them in the Ryzen game, but I think I missed a few.
Okay.
Versus this guy.
Definitely just like practice them if you're, you know.
Yeah.
Dropping them there, because like that can be the difference between you living and dying. So. Nice.
That was that drift forward.
Down
down arrow shouldn't do again.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's been a couple times where I would prefer if you did like wave dash back out of shield or something. It leaves you a lot less vulnerable. Yeah, you seem more comfortable with this guy's style.
Yeah, Lil Rice basically plays a very similar
Same.
game style. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's not as bad.
Yeah, this is another one where you didn't play around the full hop properly here.
Yeah, I should have
You
just
did the
dashed
laser.
back. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the dash back laser was in the wrong place. Like, as soon as you're up close to them, like, where was it? I need to share the screen again. Yeah, I just feel like the goal of the laser is to get you into these sorts of positions where you're close enough to actually, threaten him meaningfully. So once you're in this position, there's no real need to do like the dash back lasers and stuff. I'd rather just hit Fox with like an actual move,
Yeah.
So yeah, again here I would just do dash away and then dash chance and then back air him or dash chance grab him or something. Nice. You're really slow to get into ledge here, which is quite scary. It's like once you hit this, there is no real need to like laser. You want to just get over to the ledge as fast as possible, because the best thing he can do from his side here is to double jump and then side B to the ledge, and the only way you can cover that is by getting over there really quickly. Whereas if he does like double jump high at B or whatever, like you can cover that from wherever you are really, because it's just so slow to like take off and whatever. So you want to cover his like highest priority option here, which is to drop low and side B. But yeah, that's like a trap I used to fall into as well. Like as soon as I'm on the top bottom here, I would just shove and then fast fall through, or not even have done the lasers in the first place.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just a bit late on that.
I mean, you had to read this one, so because you can't cover the tech in place on reaction.
Should up edit then.
Yeah, I mean, I usually just 50-50 here. Like, if I think they're going to tech in place, then I'll do the shine. Otherwise, I just give it up. And if they tech in place, then, like, fair enough. And I'll just, like, up air or back air them afterward. Yeah, you see, like, when you went to top bottom there, you couldn't really do anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't do the stupid aerial through either. I just went back.
And then here you didn't do the drop through aerial here either. You just wave dash back, and now you like didn't know what to do about it, and now you're in center. So like even if nothing happened in that interaction, you still ended up in a better situation like in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like there's a lot of these situations like this where like because this guy plays quite grounded, a lot of this stuff's working. But then you just want to be careful versus like if Ryzon was here, he would just full hop in place, right? And then back air your forward smash then.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta like adapt how you play these situations based on the Fox. So here I think if it's a grounded person then the forward smash is fine, but if it's versus like Ryzon then I'll be dash dancing or lasering to catch his full up.
Yeah.
Just something to think about when you play different Foxes. Because I think that's the hardest part about playing. I was just gonna say I think that's the hardest part about playing Fox in tournament. Is like how differently they can all play.
Yeah, because I've always played fairly aggro Foxes. It's like that kind of like I default to that. It feels like, which is like it's fine versus this guy because he's playing pretty aggro. Again,
here like this is one where you like throw attacks out on the ground. Falco wins these if Fox is playing on the ground with him, but if he's full hopping, then like you see how it trades bad there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just make like a mental note of whether I need to be throwing out more attacks to him on the ground or whether I need to be like waiting and spacing around him more with like his full hops. Yeah, you do a lot of these like drift in bears as well.
Yeah, I do it with A, so I need
Yeah,
to
I'd learn to
learn
do it
to
with
do it with
C-stick.
stick.
Yeah. Um, and also just think about when you're using them as well, because a lot of the time, again, it's like if you ask anybody about Falco, they'll know about up tilt and back air, right? So you need to like weight how much you use them based on like how much people are playing around them. Um, so it like everybody plays around back air now, so like you want to be doing more, wave dashes or full hops or whatever out of shield instead.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, at this level, like people base their game plans around like what they hear other people say. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like if
Yeah,
they
not
hear,
much.
yeah, if they hear Armada going, "Ooh, full hop is really good versus Falco," and doing back airs and up tilts is what Falco's looking for, then that's all they're going to look for when they play. um,
Yeah. Okay.
so you can kind of use like the conventional knowledge that people give out like against people. Like I used to always hear people talk about, oh, this Falco lasers, you should just like shield them and then wave dash back. So I just sort of shoot in place until they've wave dashed back into the corner, or stuff like that. It's just something interesting to think about. Is like how people approach like game plans and like how they're seeing the game.
That was another mission.
Yeah, I definitely practice those then.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. Yeah, I think you definitely look more comfortable versus that style. So I think it's pretty easy. It's like pretty safe to say that like it's the full hop stuff that you still haven't like got down yet. But from the sounds of it, like roughly what's going wrong. And I think now like some like does it feel more like reinforced what you need to do versus that sort of style?
Yeah, it's just not very intuitive in game, I think. I
Yeah.
need to work on that.
Yeah. And again, I would probably anytime you go up against a fox like that, it might be worth rewatching one of the lessons where we talk about full hop like after it, just to sort of like connect the two together.
Yeah, because I'm recognizing that people are doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm able to recognize it. So maybe if I'm watching that afterwards, I'll be able to make, like say, make that connection of, oh, this is what I should be doing.
Yeah. I would also recommend just like asking Ryzon for games or some fox that plays like that as well.
That's a good shout, yeah.
Because yeah, if you're just going up against random foxes online, then there's a good chance they just play like this guy, and then you're already comfortable versus them, so it doesn't like help you as much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Were there any other questions you had about Fox or the games or the mentality stuff, or?
I think that's enough to work on. I think so.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I definitely like take your break day tomorrow, and then I think the first things to focus on would be that like tournament notes
Mentality.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one because there's a tournament on Monday, isn't there? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely for that, and then yeah, just focus on the full hop stuff more versus Fox. Like, it's a huge part of the matchup, so it requires like a lot of attention. And once you figure it out and it becomes intuitive, like it just opens up a lot of results you can get.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll see you next time then.
Yeah, enjoy your roast, man.
I will do. All right.
See
See
you
ya.
later.